All right, welcome back to Budget Your Energy podcast. I would love to know where you listen. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we're on YouTube. There's some stuff on Instagram and TikTok, and gotta look at Threads. But yeah, if you are listening to the podcast, then I'd just like to spend 15 minutes to take a concept in my mind and something that we use in other forms of life, like careers and professional settings, and apply that theory or method into ourselves to hopefully find a better form of balance or understanding, or be more efficient with that. So what I would like to talk about today is setting deadlines in order to create discipline. I think that in so many things in life, mainly in professional, we are very good at saying this task A needs to be achieved at date and time. Maybe not time, but definitely date. So we have this urgency when we look at our day or our week or what we want to do. We have this sense of urgency to do everything underneath the task in order to make sure that task is done. And some tasks you are able to move the deadline based on, life happens. Life is what happens when we're busy making plans. With this in mind, I think it's very interesting to know, or to at least have a look at the things you want to achieve for yourself. In January, we all sit around and have our New Year's resolutions and all that, and then they fade. And I believe that it's because of not setting tangible deadlines. So there's two ways to look at this. Sometimes we set deadlines that are unachievable due to our circumstance or our way of life or our way of being. Therefore, we have less motivation to achieve this goal, and we scrap the goal. And sometimes we don't set any deadline, therefore we do not have any sense of urgency or priority in our day and week for this goal, and the motivation in order to do it does not exist either, and the goal disappears. But if we are able to look at, so during your workday, you will have a list of things that you have to get done, and let's say in order to get paid, you have to fill in your attendance sheet before the 21st of April. I don't know, whatever, 21st of the month. Now, on the 1st of the month, that is not a priority. You are able to do many other tasks. On the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, it's not a daily priority. The week of the 21st is when it starts being showing up as a priority in your to-do list for the day or the week. And you still want to make sure you get paid, and if you don't do this, you don't get your salary. Therefore, you make a plan or a schedule or a calendar invite or whatever needs to be done in order to, you create this discipline, right? And it's based on a deadline. Now, with that in mind, we should do that more with our intentions and our goals. It's very easy to say, I want to have a six-pack by, I want to have a six-pack. That's easy to say. But the process in order to get the six-pack is to do sit-ups, for example. I'm not a fitness guy, sorry. So that might be I'm using a very simple version of that. Anyone in fitness that is knows better, feel free. Help me get a six-pack. But the point I'm trying to get at, there is workouts, sit-ups, for example, let's say, that have to be done in certain amounts and all that in order to get them. So then for me to sit in January and say I want a six-pack by the 15th of January, depending on what form your body is in, what you eat and drink, that is possibly impossible to achieve. Therefore, you get to the 15th of January and you say, excuse me, you say, well, this is rubbish, I don't have a six-pack. But it is also not worth saying, I want a six-pack, because then there's no intention, there's no ability to get, no deadline attached in order to motivate you to do the smaller tasks underneath that are needed to achieve this. So if you then say to yourself, in January, I want a six-pack by December, right? So that's your 12 months. You have this in your calendar, and what that allows you to do is then say, well, if I drink 3 beers less a week, and if I eat this much during the week, and then if I do these sit-ups, you then create this goal, but you create these achievable weekly tasks which perform into the yearly goal. So it's a similar thing with maybe just mental. Let's say for me, I want to write my Substack. I write my Substack, and I haven't set a goal for this though, but I ideally want to turn this Budget Your Energy Substack blog post into a book and a online course. Now I'm at the place now where I need to set a deadline for the book, and I need to set a deadline for the online course, or other way around, doesn't matter. But what I've only done so far, 1 out of the 3 parts, is set an achievement of writing once a week. But that deadline is Thursday, 9 o'clock. Trust me, there are weeks where I haven't done it. There are times where this is out of my control. I say out of my control, but let's just say it's not in my control, because I could control it better, because I can control how I budget my energy. What I learned, let's say just for that weekly thing, is, it would be no priority on my week, no priority, and then like Wednesday night or Thursday, I wake up at 6 and be like, I need to get it out by Thursday, 9 o'clock. But then I found the little loophole, and it's not a loophole, it's pretty basic information. But then I thought to myself, well, why do I have to write it on Thursday morning? If I look at my week, each week, I can find an hour on Tuesday, or maybe I've got a busy Tuesday and my off day is moved till Wednesday, and then I find an hour on that. Or I have no off days, but on Monday morning, my meetings only start at 2 p.m, so from 12 to 1 I could write. The point is, the deadline creates that discipline, and so if I am disciplined, if I put the deadline in, I create the discipline, but I still have to be disciplined enough to follow the deadline. So I have to prioritize that deadline. But what it does to me then is allows me to now find that spot in my week, or block out that time and put in some of my energy in my week at a available time in order to achieve this deadline. And now what I've found as my next step to that is, let's say I am not going to be, at home, right? Or at this home, for example. Not that I have many homes. I'm saying the expat life, sometimes you have to travel. Let's say I've got a business trip that I need to go to, theoretically. And whatever you have to do, but that you have this discipline that has been created around a deadline. This video has to come out every week, and my Substack has to come out every week too. But I am going to be away and busy for week 3, let's say. I then also have the ability to respect my time, prioritize my time, and prioritize my discipline that I want to achieve. And I can then say, well, I'm not going to be there on week 3. So in week 1 or week 2, I need to find extra time in order to block that time for something in week 3. So if I want to write or record and it takes me, I'm going to say 30 minutes, I know I won't have that in week 3. So I will then move 2 slots of 30 minutes into week 2 and 1 into week 1, or I just find an hour and a half, 2 hours in week 2, etc., etc. What I'm trying to say here is, if you set your deadlines to create your disciplines, you then will find where, and if you respect your deadlines and disciplines and yourself, you will find ways in order to stick to those deadlines just the same as you would in your job, for your boss, for your team, for your colleague, for the corporation, or for, let's say you're an entrepreneur, like for your business. If you treat your goals with the same amount of respect and priority as you do these other needs of your energy, and you respect those deadlines that you set, you will find space in your week, and you will find space in your allocated, budgeted energy in order to achieve these goals. And you do that over time, and it becomes a habit, and then you achieve a desired outcome. So yeah, that's what I think about that. As I said, I would always love to hear your opinion and your comments. Feel free to reach out or message, either comment below or message directly. I am trying to learn just as much as I'm trying to teach, and like I said, I intend to turn this into a course or a book that is going to be based not on my opinion alone, but also based on information and learnings from others, either people that are watching this or studies that have been done, because in this area, and yeah, if you want to point me in any direction, I will look at those too. So yes, thank you very much for budgeting some of your energy in order to watch or listen to me today. I hope that you have a fantastic day and an amazing week ahead. And yeah, stay golden.